What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. As always, I am Camtastic, and this is In Response, where every other week, three, sometimes four, sometimes zero friends gather around their desk to update you on the goings-ons in the CDH world and our personal journeys throughout the format. Joining me this week is Nico, aka Mexi Delight. How's it going, Nico?
It's going pretty well. Excited to talk about some recent tournament play, the Doot tournament, and some of our local meta breakdown. So should be a good episode.
Excellent. Sounds exciting. And also joining us this week, as usual, is Julian, the magician, MTG. How's it going, Julian?
Good. Going good. Had a good day, but I'm excited to hear about your guys' weekend up at the Doot tournament, and then get into some meta breakdowns.
Awesome.
Well, I'll start us off about the Doot tournament. Overall, it was a lot of fun. Road trip up to the Bay Area from Fresno with a car full of friends. So that was a good time. Met some other people from Fresno up there. New play space at Merlion Games in San Carlos, for those who haven't heard of it. Recently renovated. It fits 48 players, no problem. And there was still a little bit of extra space. So for those of you in the San Carlos area, go check it out for sure. But I think we had 52 players originally, and then a few didn't show up, and maybe like one or two dropped. But it was right around 48 or 50 players at the very beginning. And then, of course, towards the end, it dropped. But overall, for me, not a very good day. I went 0, 3, and 1. Pretty rough. Yeah, and by the time I got into round 4, I obviously wasn't going to make the bubble, but I just wanted to play it anyway. And then it was funny because it was a super quick, like 3-4 minute game. But yeah, quick breakdown for this on me. Round 1, I was seat 4, so right away that was a bit of a bummer. Up against Yoshi Thras in seat 1, a Rogsai, and then a Timna Crom. So like powerful decks right away. Round 1, I was like, oh man, seat 4, this is not going to go well. It ended up being a bit of a mid-rangey grind game, and then Yoshi Thras just got, all the value and got the win from there. Nothing special, pretty fair round 1 overall. And then round 2, I was seat 1, so I was looking a little bit better there. I got up against a Ral, a Gwenem, and then a Tivit. And shout out to the Tivit player, our local here, B-Sphere. I had a powerhouse of a starting turn there. I kept first 7, and I even wrote this one down. Starting Town, Badlands, Exotic Orchard, Simian Spirit Guide, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Prize Statue, and a Static Prison. So I was able to just set up really well, get out some creatures, and just hit the grind game right away with Dargo Timna. And then I drew into a Smothering Tithe. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to get this Tithe out and then, get even better. And then B-Sphere commandeered my Smothering Tithe. So that was pretty rough.
Damn.
And then on his turn, he played his own Smothering Tithe and a Damping Sphere. Yeah, so he had 2 Tithes and a Damping Sphere. I think we literally all pretty much passed turn for 2 turn rounds, and then B-Sphere just, popped off and got it there. So that one was pretty brutal, and I told him we're no longer friends after that,
Yeah, I started calling him D-Sphere.
Yeah, D-Sphere is the new name for sure. And then even just the other night, I saw him playing locally at our LGS, and he, again, had Smothering Tithe and D-Sphere out. And I can't remember if he took that game or not, but I was like, yeah, this is deja vu for sure. And then round 3, this one was a draw. This was a very long, grindy game, went to time. It was another Dog Thras, Inala, which you don't see Inala much anymore. They tried, I think. It was pretty fair. Didn't see anything crazy. And then I was seat 3, and then a Master of Keys, seat 4. Now, the problem in this game was the seat 4 Master of Keys player had an early counterbalance, and he was, in my opinion, a fairly new player to CEDH at least, and wasn't really utilizing counterbalance as well as he could have. For instance, he let the Yoshi Thras player get a Kinnan out and then Enlighten Tutor. And I was like, he's going to Enlighten Tutor for the Basalt Monolith. And the guy didn't use the counterbalance on the Enlighten Tutor. Sure enough, the guy got a Basalt Monolith. And then on my turn, he wanted to use counterbalance on a Greedy Freebooter. And I was like, yo, if you're gonna not use counterbalance on a tutor and use it on this one drop, yeah, it's sack fodder for Dargo. Like you're messing some stuff up with the counterbalance. And there was some other questionable interactions like that. And yeah, that one was a bit of a brutal game and then into a draw at the end. So that was yeah. And then seat 4, I was like, all right, cool. I'm seat 1 again. We'll go into this and check it out. And maybe I'll get a win. And it was so me seat 1, seat 2 was a quote to me, random Grixis commander, Cormella, Glamour Thief. I don't think I'd ever seen it before. So I kind of was just like, all right, this guy, must not know the meta. I'm not too worried about it. Seat 3 was another Yoshi Thras. So seeing a lot of dog Thras out there these days. And then seat 4 was Keurig. So that was kind of cool to see a Keurig player. But inevitably, the random Grixis player had a turn 3 Thoracle Decon win. Just, had it, kept his first 7 and had it. So that was over quick. And yeah, those were my 4 rounds to recap. So nothing too crazy, but also not the greatest, also not the worst.
Yeah, that Cormella deck is kind of an old school style Grixis deck. I know that it was played way before we were doing these Green Goblin, Kefka decks, but probably even around the time Rogsai was beginning to get popular. I think it came out right around that time, but it was definitely after Kess because it came out in Capenna, so
Yeah.
it's only
So
a
it's
couple
not
years
that
old.
old. Yeah, not that old of a commander, but I definitely, yeah, kudos to the guy for pulling the win out. I feel a little bad for having read a book by its cover. It was just like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing here. But Demir's got it, as you literally said the other day. When Demir's got it, they've got it. So
Yeah, sometimes they can just turn 2, turn 3, sometimes turn 1, just have the nuts 2-card combo.
exactly, he played a tap land turn 2 as well. So I was like, dude's playing tap lands in a tournament. Where yeah, okay, nothing to worry about. Untapped game.
Yeah. What about you, Cam? How was your Doot experience?
It was a fun tournament overall. I only played 3 rounds. I dropped afterwards because I knew I wasn't going to make it to the top, and there was a tap room across the street, so I wanted to go get some beer. Um, round one,
Cam,
I
I
knew I
got
was.
I gotta I gotta call you out though, Cam. In our like CDH tournament prep episode months ago, we said finish the tournament, and you broke our own advice, man.
I did when there was no point in bubbling out, or when there was no chance of bubbling in. The fact that there was a nice tap room across the street was just too tempting, and I just went across the street. So,
Yeah.
yep, I played my 3 rounds, and I did my time. But yeah, for the most part, I agree. Don't drop, but I don't know. It was a combination of the fact that it was a weekend trip, or like
Yeah.
a trip on a weekend, and just kind of out there having a good time and stuff. So. Um,
So you could say that you untapped at the tap room.
I could, but I won't.
Too punny. Haha.
My round one, it was horrible, but it wasn't horrible because I sat down knowing I was gonna lose. I was seat 4, and seat 1 was Raoul, seat 2 was Rogsai, seat 3 was Atali.
Oh,
So
Sweet,
brutal.
3 turbo decks.
there was just no way I could keep enough interaction. If I stopped one of them, the other one, the next person would win. I couldn't, from seat 4, I couldn't try to outspeed them. I sat down, and luckily I got to play with Jack, our friend Doot, and so I sat down across from him, and he's like, "This motherfucker." I was like, "Yeah, bro, that's exactly what I'm thinking about you." And so we sit down, we both laugh a little bit, and I was just like, "All right, this is gonna be a fun game." So Ral goes turn 1, gets a Troger down, drops a treasonous ogre, or excuse me, tavern scoundrel and a Ral, and then goes into a draw spell. So me and Dude are looking at each other, and we both are just like, "We're cooked, bro." Like turn 1, we're cooked. Seat 1, turn 1. Luckily, the Ral pilot whiffed. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, luckily or not. They whiffed, and then turn 2 came around, and then they went for it and got it. So it was over really quickly. They were, according to themselves, a newer Ral player. So kudos to them. But
You know, I I played against that same Rao player. I think it was my round 3 or 4, and he ended up making it to the semifinals. So
Yeah.
if he was new, then good for him because he was just stumbling a little bit even in the Rao game that I played. But made it to the semis.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah.
Round two, I drew. I was playing against, again, seat four. I was playing against Krakashima, the Carmela deck you mentioned earlier, and a Tivit deck that was also on D Sphere. I pushed for a win, and like it was a long grindy game, and I ended up pushing for a win on top of Carmela's win. And there's two pieces of interaction from the Tivit, and pretty much they were like, okay, they proposed a draw. So we just, your average, somebody pushes a win, and then it's like either stop you or let the other person win. I've only got a piece of interaction for each. It was a draw. Game three was very interesting. I played with one of our locals, Carlos, who's on Winota. It was, I'm trying to remember it was me. I was seat one was Atali. It was Julian, who we've played against before and who placed in
Yeah.
top four in Fishbowl. It was him. Sorry, I'm trying to remember seat order. I have it written down. I could just grab it, but I won't. Um, it was Rogthras, Julian. I was seat four again. I was seat four 2 out of 3 times. Rogthras, Julian, Carlos, Winota, and me in seat four. So I thought I stood a chance this time because we were playing with Winota, another stacks, deck, and Atali mulligan to 4, and the only land that they kept was an Ancient Tomb. It was
Even for
it was rough.
Atali, 4 is low.
So pretty much the moral of the story was that it was going to be a draw. That game was going to end in a draw. The Atali player had absolutely no business winning that game, but politic their way to talking the Rockdrass player into bouncing a rule law effect off of their board and then to let him play Atali to see what he would get because maybe it would deal with Winota's board.
What?
And
What
so
does
by doing
Atali
that,
play
he was
that
like,
deals with the
these are the
board?
3 cards in my hand out of 5. He was like, these are 3 cards in my hand. He's like, if when Atali hits, I'll let you choose what I cast with Atali. If you choose nothing, I won't cast anything.
What are the
And
other
so
2 cards?
he didn't show. And so Carlos is like, dude, he's not showing you the other 2 cards. There's a
Yeah.
reason he's not showing you the other 2 cards. And the dude's just like contemplating. And Carlos is like, all right, this is the last thing I'm going to say. You're going to lose to one of those 2 cards. And so he lets him do it, and he slams the Atali, gets a bunch of garbage, and then he says, like, okay, don't cast any of it. So he doesn't cast any of it. And then immediately one of the 2 cards in his hand, he's like, okay, food chain. So he just starts going from there, and he's like, no, I told you I would let you in the first Atali cat. Anyway, so he ended up winning. It was like watching a fencing match, but verbally. Like it was, and I had died to a pact of negation. We were under a blood moon, and I had to push because we were under a pact of negation, and I had breach. So we were under a blood moon effect, and so I was like, okay, I can go for a breach win under a blood moon effect. So I need to push right now. So I pushed, and then I ended up getting stopped by Rogthras, fierces me, and then I died in my pact of negation. So I can't say anything this whole time. I'm just sitting there fucking quiet, like, oh my God, this dude is being fucking grifted. And it was tough to watch.
Pretty brutal to sit through for sure.
There was like 2 points where I was able to talk where like the Rockthras player tapped his mana wrong, and they were like, oh, can I undo and retap it this way? And everybody was like, okay, except for like Julian was like, whatever. But I mean, Julian did a good job. He did what he had to do to win the game after mulling down to 4 and playing, like, being stuck on an Ancient Tomb for like the whole game. It was crazy. Me and Carlos like shook his hand afterwards and we're like, you did it, dude. You fleeced him. Like, good job. Like, not even in a sarcastic way. Like, I can see why you top so many tournaments. Like, you were very good at politicking. So kudos to him. That was a good win. He snatched that win from the jaws of a draw.
Wild.
After that,
so Carlos wasn't in a position to just snowball out with Winota.
He wasn't going to. He didn't have enough damage on board to get around enough to kill everybody. There was just too many. Like Rogthras had too many creatures, and Atali hadn't been hit the whole game pretty much because he was just sitting there doing nothing. So Carlos wasn't able to win through combat damage really and get in.
Okay.
So it was going to end in a draw. The game was going to end in a draw, which I was hoping for. But
Yeah.
yeah, so after that,
Crazy.
I was just like, I'm gonna go have a beer. Like I wasn't salty or anything about it. I was like, that was an interesting match. I don't have any chance of placing tops, so I'm just gonna go have a beer and enjoy the rest of the trip. Enjoy some nice Bay Area weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting tournament. I had a really good time. Jack, dude, thanks for hosting it for us, man. It was or for everybody, not for us, but it was a blast. We really had a good time. Merlion Games had some sick loot. Like they had like a amazing card selection. And yeah, it was just a fun time. I had a great time.
Yeah. And
Hopefully I'll
that's
go
where
next time.
yeah, and that's where Doot actually announced his next tournament coming up, I think in January sometime, Breach the Bridge. And for those who watched our interview with Doot, that's the tournament he was alluding to throughout that episode. So again, for anybody who's interested and able to drive up to the Bay Area, got a big, he said he's trying to hit a platinum event, I think he said with that one.
Yeah, in
200.
January.
Yeah. So that should be pretty cool. You'll definitely hear us talk about it again as we get closer.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
interested
I
in it on
definitely
Top
plan on
Deck,
being there.
search Breach the Bay on
Breach
Top
the
Deck.
Bay.
Yeah, Breach the Bay if you guys are looking for it.
Would you
Yeah.
say magician?
I was just saying I'm hopefully gonna be able to make this one because I wanna meet Dude in person. So meet Jack.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I didn't even get a chance to meet him myself. We were either playing at the same time or he was gone after I got back from having a beer. So we'll just have to go to another one.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's where I come in, social butterfly of the group here. I'll just go talk to anyone and everyone.
That is true.
Yep.
That is true. Well, so should we talk local meta? We are having great success at our LGS with Friday night events and Wednesdays occasionally, but we've hit bronze level event now several weeks out of the last few.
Three
Yeah,
weeks in a
three
row
in a
we've been
row.
bronze.
Yeah. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but those bronze events are now part of the California circuit, right?
Yep, they will be. Yeah.
Retroactively correct. Once
Yep.
there's just waiting for one more thing. The California circuit's waiting for one more thing from the shop, and then once they send that through, then we're approved. I already spoke to Zach and everybody, and then I just got to send them the top deck links, and we will be retroactively bronzed for the California circuit.
Awesome. Good news
Awesome.
there.
Because one of those weeks I was top 4. So
Nice. Yeah,
I
these
think I was for one of them as well.
hitting bronze 3 weeks in a row is awesome. It's been great for the community.
yeah. And it's nice too. Anyone local or looking to come play on a Friday night at our LGS, it's a $10 buy-in. Prizes go to top 4. We don't play out the top 4, but if we ever wanted to up it a little bit, we can do a $15 buy-in, and then a little bit of prizes will trickle down to everybody else, but with a heavy-handed towards the top 4 still. So you guys are looking for 100% proxy friendly F&M for CEDH, come on over to Clovis Cards and Comics. We usually start around 6:30, sometimes 7 if we have to push it.
Yep. So awesome. Well, shall we dive into our November metagame breakdown, gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you who are new, we're going to break down each of our top 5 and throw in an honorable mention in there. And yeah, we'll pretty much get some chatting about that.
Let's we'll
Who's-
start with our honorable mention and work our way up to our number 1. What do you guys say?
Works
Sounds
for
good.
me.
All right. What do you got, Nico?
So I'm gonna be a bit cheeky and give it to Cormella Glamour Thief because it's more about the Grixis core than anything else.
Crixus good cards.
Yeah, Grixis good stuff because really that's covering the new experimentation with Green Goblin, and there's this Cormella and Rogsai, all that kind of stuff.
Azula.
Azula, yep, I forgot about Azula. So
Yeah.
yeah. The commander doesn't necessarily make a difference or make or break a deck. The core, the 99, does a lot as well, obviously.
Definitely. Yep. No bad cards. Grixis still can win games.
Yep.
What about you, Cam? What
Cam?
do you got for your
My
honorable
honorable
mention?
mention is I'm gonna break down finally. That's right, Thomas. I'm gonna say Nadir Thrasios. Um, Nadir Thrasios is a bit more of a fringe Sultai deck, using Nadir as a food chain, not outlet, but a food chain enabler in the command zone. It's a good deck. It's a labor of love from a person in our metagame again, Thomas. Shout out to you. And he's been placing with it, so there's no reason not to mention it. I look forward to him placing with it, potentially at the California 99 this weekend. And
Yep.
yeah, it's a good deck. It's Sultai good stuff with creature synergies, and it has a lot of intricate combo lines that it just plays very mid range grindy, and then out of nowhere he'll just combo on you. So it's a good deck, and I'm throwing in my honorable mention. There you go, Thomas.
Don't forget, Thomas just got first in our recent Friday event as well, and he wasn't there for us to interview him afterwards. So maybe we'll have
Yeah,
to do that later on.
Yeah,
yeah, he's done very well with that deck. I've gotten the privilege of being able to kind of see a little inside the magic of what he does to kind of come up with decisions on card choices and things like that, and his statistics, because he goes above and beyond just your average play nice kind of data entry. He has spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets of information on different versions, just individual card choices. So labor of love is a great way to put it, Cam.
He
and we've
said he
got
had a
Thomas in
buy. It
chat.
doesn't count.
Yeah, I
He
count
said
it,
what?
Thomas. I count it.
It
He said
still
he had a buy.
counts.
Yeah,
Oh,
He did have a buy round one.
yeah.
Forgot about that, but it
He
still
still got
counts.
first. First
Mhm.
we
is
count it,
first, right?
Thomas. All right,
Um,
magician, what's your honorable mention?
I'm gonna put Azula uh, as my honorable mention. Kind of going off of what Nico was saying with Grix's good stuff. She's doing it in. She's kind of just doing everything in her own way, because a lot of her stuff she gets the combat step. Like that's where she gets to excel. Um, she takes advantage of being able to have one card combos in her combat step, being able to uh, copy spells, and it's not just non-creature spells. It's not just creature spells. Like she copies spells, and she gives you 2 red mana um, through the entire combat step.
Yeah.
So you
I've
get
definitely I've definitely been curious on how people can break fire bending.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good mechanic.
I'm not saying she's breaking firebending, but she's definitely taking advantage of just that extra 2 red. And like if you put stuff in, like if you have like a harmonic prodigy or like a um,
Stormkiller artist.
storm
Yeah.
killing artist,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it goes nuts. I mean, because you're not only are you casting a spell for storm killing artist, but she also enables you to copy it, which then also triggers magecraft in storm killing artist. So I mean, your first spell is essentially free if not making mana with that in
Sure.
play. So yeah, I think she's gonna do some really cool things. I mean, she might just be the Grixis flavor of the week. We've kind of gotten a lot of those recently in Kefka and Green Goblin, but I think she's pretty viable. She's cool.
Yeah. Grixis definitely has a lot of options lately.
It does. It feels like they're giving him a new commander every set, just showing some love.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right. Number 5 then. I'll
Yes, sir.
throw it out. Although I haven't really seen many other people playing it, and the hype seems to be dying down, I'm sticking with Tim DeDargo. And that's really just based off of my own gameplay. I'm not like winning tons of games, but it's definitely in there fighting. And it's more about the games that I do win are just like solid wins. I'm fighting through some things, but I'm getting better at the lines, a little more consistent, figuring out how to play a little bit better. I think my politicking game still needs some work, but I know I got
A little
Cam
bit.
dirty Even our buddy Tay, I did him dirty the other day. I abused the fact that neither of us called out time restrictions on the deal that we were making. And so I used a card on him that I said I wouldn't because we didn't say for how many turns. So it was just the one turn and then I used it. Um, so anyway, quick sidestep. But yeah, Tim Nadargo. It's a powerful deck. People are afraid of it, quite honestly. If I'm seat 1 or seat 2, I'm definitely like eyes on. People are thinking I'm the threat, whether my board state is prominent or not. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, being able to just Dargo and just beat face is
Yeah.
so like it's so overwhelming as a player to be sitting across from you or sitting across from a Dargo player because it's just there's nothing you can do. You can't put enough creatures, enough power in front of it that early to trade.
I will
Except for
say
when
the game we played recently where you threw your little 1/1 Elf Explorer
exactly
guy
what I was
under
gonna
it.
say
Yeah.
too.
Because
Except for
you
a
made
1 mana
it.
1/1.
Yep, you made it so you only had 20 commander damage, and I needed to hit you a 4th time to get you with commander damage, and it didn't happen because you blocked with a little 1/1.
Veteran Explorer, that's a good card. Blocks Dargos all day.
Yep.
No one wants to give me no one wants to give me two of my basics, so
Yep.
Tevesh players look out for that card.
Mhm. All right, Cam, what's your number 5?
What you got, Cam?
My number 5 is Tivit. I know out and about people probably don't see Tivit as much, but I ran into it at the tournament and we have a local Tivit player as well. And I've been seeing some innovations with it where they're running more of a Staxy Tivit build. And I think that that's going, if that catches on, I think it's going to just explode in popularity because it's great at fighting turbo decks. And right now we're going into a turbo meta, if not already there. I mean, we're already in this turbo meta. So I think it's going to do really well at fighting these turbo decks, playing cards like D-Sphere, playing cards like they could win with Deafening Silence. They could win under a lot of these effects. And yeah, I just think it's a solid deck and it's going to adapt to the turbo meta. Tivit's been around a while, and I feel like that Pilot's already adapting to it. I think it's in a good place right now, so I'm going to put it in my number 5 spot.
I feel like Esper is definitely adaptable. Yeah.
It's a very strong core.
Just to put a little clarification for some of the old heads out there who might be listening, with the mention of D-Sphere, some people, because my mind immediately went to Detention Sphere, which is in the colors and somewhat playable as an O-ring, but it's Damping
That's true.
Sphere.
Damping Sphere. Yeah.
Yep, and as I said earlier, that Damping Sphere in the Doot tournament that B-Sphere played was brutal, just warped the game. Yeah.
Yeah, he locked me under it as well in the same game where he had a Tithe and 2 Ristics.
Yeah,
Gross.
that deck just accumulates straw engines and just pushes them out and then just wins. Like that's it. Just drags the game out and then wins.
Yeah. I have Tivit also at my number 5.
Nice.
Just also because of the same stuff you were saying, Cam. It's great. It's got a bomb basically / combo piece in the command zone. It gives you mana advantage, gives you card advantage, has an A+B combo. Tivit's doing a lot of stuff really well right now, and like you said, it can adapt to a meta pretty easily. If it needs to stop turbo, if it needs to stop mid range, if it needs to stop combo, it can. So
I feel like Tivit was the Esper commander of choice before Marnius, and then Marnius got super big, and now people are pivoting back to Tivit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Interesting. All right. Well, my number 4 is Itali. What more can be said about Itali? I mean, maybe some people would argue it should be higher on the list, but it's popular. You see several Italis almost everywhere you go in the tournament locally. I think we were talking the other day, if everybody who had Itali built played it in one event, we'd have 5 Itali players just in our local meta. So that's saying something for sure. And it's consistent. If you're a good politicker like the other Julian guy who's been getting high up in tournaments, then hey, Itali's even better.
Yeah, and it's funny that we say that because at our All Valley, I didn't know who he was. I just knew
Yeah.
that he and I had the same name, and we were put in the only I think the only 3-man or the bottom two. We were in a 3-man pod the first round, and I mean you can go back to our episode where we talked about the post tournament, but that was a tournament where me and him were playing. He was playing Atali, and I was just happened to be in seat one, and I was able to put together a Thoracle combo on turn two, and it was all because he tried to politic his Sisay player in seat two to not play an island, but he revealed his hand at the end of the game, and all he had was a tropical island and a tundra, so he couldn't not play an island, and that led me to get mana off my carpet of flowers, and the rest is history. But it's kind of
Yeah.
funny now knowing like that's the same Julian. So cool.
So
uh,
sorry, I'm seeing in chat here we've got I believe B Sphere said that the nickname came from Detention Sphere and playing Esper in Standard. So he's living up to all aspects of that for sure.
nice, nice. So anything else on Atali, Nico?
No.
No. All right? What do you got, Cam, for your fourth place?
My number 4 is Dargo Timna. Aside from Nico, we've got one other person and David playing it in our meta, and it is just the Mardu deck. And Mardu is also a powerful shell. White, anything that you try to do under silence effects is generally going to be powerful, and red and black are very fast colors. So you combine speed with protection, and you've got yourself a good deck. I think it's good at pivoting game plans. You can go with the Dargo Beats game plan. You can go with your combo game plan. You can go with early game Timna to help farm and draw cards. I think it's very adaptable to multiple scenarios and games because of that. And I think that it's another deck that will evolve and grow with the meta because it's just equipped with a lot of the best cards. You're getting tutors in black. You're getting, again, protection in white, and then you're getting speed from red. So that's that's my number 4.
Yeah. No arguments for me.
Definitely. Same here. I've got Kefka at 4. Just again, recency bias. I just feel like every time I get into a pod with you, Cam, Kefka seems to be doing almost everything it needs to do. Sometimes it falls short, but Kefka is still a strong deck, a strong mid-range deck that you can, search for your LED, get Kefka out, turn 2, turn 3, and it's I feel like it's can be underestimated because you can come from nothing. You can have almost nothing in your hands, and everyone's not been picking on you, but you've been kind of policing the table, and then all of a sudden it's like you get that last piece of mana, you you get to politic your way into getting Kefka into play, and then boom, like another turn later, you've drawn like 6 cards off of Kefka, and you're right back in it. It's like you go from 0 to 100 with Kefka real quick.
The
So
card
I think
advantage, the card advantage with Kefka is very unassuming because it's potentially, well, I guess for all intents and purposes, random, right? Based on what people are randomly discarding, whether they choose to table talk or not. So yeah, all of a sudden you're drawing 3 or 4 cards at once and do that 2, 3 turns in a row, and it's like, okay, that's just as good as any other draw engine at that point.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
tend
because like
to focus on one or the other, the discard or the draw. They're either like, oh, like they don't focus on both happening at the same time. It's like either like, oh, this guy's making us discard our hands, we got to stop him, or other people who are like Julian points out, like, no, he's drawing like 5 or 6 cards over 2 or 3 turns. Like, it's not just like, don't just think about your hands being ripped apart. Like, the card advantage is really what's pushing it over the edge.
yeah, because like you can look at a heuristic study, and people can pay for heuristic studies. I mean, not they don't always do that, but a heuristic study in one turn cycle can draw, on average, you would say, without someone pushing, like maybe 2 cards, 2, 3 cards. But when Kefka enters, you're drawing probably 3 or 4 cards right there in one turn, and you get to use them on that turn. and then you go through your turn, go through the turn cycle, and you go to combat. You get to do it again. Where that Ristic City player probably only drew a total of 4 cards now. You know, so I think Kefka's ability to draw cards is very strong and can definitely take you from nothing to a possible win attempt in a matter of a turn.
Sure.
So well, that's
All
enough
right.
about Cam and him blowing up his ego.
About Kefka, right?
Does that bring us to number 3?
Number
All right.
3.
I've got Ral.
Pick number 3, my lord.
I've got Ral in number 3. I am seeing a few more people starting to play Ral, and those people who are good pilots at Ral are definitely, when they've got it, they've got it. There's always that chance of whiffing when doing the is it stuff. And then even this Doot tournament we were at, there was a presumably new Ral player we were just talking about a few minutes ago that made the semifinals. And again, I played him in a round. He definitely didn't seem like the best Ral player, but to still hit the semifinals, Ral's just a powerful card. We've talked about it before. Turn 1, it can pop off. Turn 2, pretty much very consistently. And, turn 3, you either know if you're losing a Ral or if you don't have to worry about him anymore.
All right. What do you got on number 3, Cam?
My number 3 for this week is going to be Rog Thras. Or sorry, not this week, but this month. I see plenty of Rog Thras out there. Like, a lot of people are playing it, and I think it's just a fun deck. People are able to put their spice, their flavor into it. It allows people to play big, dumb Timmy cards. You get to play your Nyx Bloom Ancients and your Apex Devastators and your Galtas, whatever the hell you want to play. Whatever big mana spell you want to play, you can play it. And it's letting people... I don't know. It's letting people do what they want to do and have some fun with the format. So I don't personally like playing with semi-blue in my pod, but I see a lot of it, and I think that people are drawn to being able to play these big, like, fun bombs and stuff like that. So, more power to you. Enjoy it. I think it's still a good deck, and it's able to operate with a lot of these weird cards. And hey, keep tapping that cradle and untapping it.
Right. I feel like that's kind of like Kinnan too. Kinnan Big Flips has some stuff you wouldn't normally see in other decks, and that's just because you're cheating it or you've got so much mana, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna kind of cheat, and this is gonna be 2 decks because I'm gonna throw Dog Thras in here, because while Dog Thras isn't doing the same Apex Devastator, Nyx Bloom Ancient things, it still has a lot of flavor to it, and a lot of people are picking it up now because silence effects with your favorite blue-green cards. So, Dog and Rog Thras are gonna be my co number 3 spots for this month.
Oh,
Cheater.
3. Okay. Wow. Well, I've got Atali at my number 3. So I'm not going to go into more about it. But Atali is very strong. It can come from, again, it's one of those decks that can go 0 to 100. People are talking about if they see an Atali keep their first 7 or their second 7, everyone else mulligans to 6, so that you can get around the Jeska's will, so that they can't turn 1 Atali.
Sure.
I don't know how real that is, but it's fun to say. But yeah, Atali, it's similar to one of the other, well, actually both my other 2 decks. It's kind of just like it's random, so they can politic their way into saying, "Well, let me do this, and we'll see what I get off of it."
Yeah.
So
I attempted similar where somebody's like, "Well, you're just going to win on your next turn," and I said, "I can guarantee you, with what I have in my hand right now, I cannot win the game." Well, I had a sacrifice and a peer into the abyss with Dargo in play, so I'm like, with what's in my hand, I can't win. But the other 40 cards I'm about to draw, probably.
I think that was with me and Tay. I believe
To be
that was
fair,
that
you
same
said
island game.
you said with my current knowledge,
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
can't
that
win.
is,
But
oh,
maybe
okay.
I misworded them. Even still though, that's right there on the edge, right? Because I don't know what cards I'm going to draw.
Yeah, but you could safely assume drawing half your deck, you're going to be able to assemble a win.
For sure.
I think
Still
it's
not
definitely
100. Still not. What's the deterministic, right?
yeah.
Not
I
But
think
that's what I mean. I need to work on my
it's
politicking
definitely
because
been
I.
it's been fun watching you learn politicking. Well, all of us learn politicking, I should say. Not
Yeah.
like I'm much better at it, but it's been a fun experimental journey. to watch, like, oh, the teetering and the, like the, where do we where do we draw this line in the
Right.
sand? Everybody's like, it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to like the nature of the deal versus the letter of the deal.
Mm-hmm. That's the line I'm toying around with lately, and
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a hard line when you find it.
Yeah.
All right,
All
number
right, what do you
two.
got? Number two, Nico.
Yeah, I have Dog Thras, Yoshimaru Thrasios, for number two. I've seen more people playing it, more people than are picking up Ral or Itali. In the Doot tournament, I played against it at least 3 of the 4 rounds. Yeah, let's see, round 1, round 2, round 4. So 3 of the 4 rounds, there was a Dog Thras player. We've got a couple in our local meta. And yeah, it's just getting to be a more consistent deck. There's a couple builds of it, and it's good. Just like Cam was saying, play your favorite Simic stuff with silence effects.
Pretty sweet. And a
Yeah.
Derevia meal. Like
Right.
2 very
Yeah.
strong legendary creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good combo lines that white gives you.
All right, Cam, what about your number 2?
My number 2 is Atali.
Oh, okay. We all had a Tolly, just different numbers.
I think Turbo's
Depends
strong
how
right
much-
now.
I
Yeah.
was gonna joke. It depends how often we've lost to Atali, where we're ranking it.
Yeah, exactly. How bad we lost to it. I it's Turbo right now. Turbo's good right now, and it's one of the best Turbo decks. It's a parasitic deck. It just sits there and just says, I'm gonna do my thing. You either stop me or I'm gonna play the game by myself. It's non-deterministic. It's everything we don't like to sit across from, but it's red's fast. Red is fast. What else can you
Yeah.
say?
Definitely. And a big 7/7 dino with trample. That can
Yeah.
that can almost one-shot someone on the other side.
Yeah,
So,
red is fast and free spells are good. Who would have guessed?
4 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
All right, Nico, number 1.
Classic Tim Necrom. Again,
Oh,
it's
go
just
Blue Farm.
it's there. People are playing it. It's winning. It's consistent. Yeah, I'm not gonna dig deeper into that.
We do have a local who is on that, so it's nice to have. Actually, we have 2 locals now that are on that, so it's nice to have a little bit of that,
Yeah.
top tier deck in our meta. Because for a while we didn't even really have like a Rogsai
Yeah.
either. So
And one of those local Blue Farm players, he made the semis in this Doot tournament recently. So again, just proof in the pudding right there.
Yeah.
Grixis with white cards. Wow, who'd have
Yeah.
thunk it?
Grixis with silence.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about you,
What
Cam?
about you?
Rowl's my number 1. I left Blue Farm off the list this month just to be a little spicy with it, but Rowl's my number 1. Again, Turbo's good right now, and this is personal bias, but I keep losing to it, and it's very hard for me to beat that deck. You have to respect it, and by the time you've like stopped that deck, like the other decks are ahead of you, you got to kind of pick your poison with Raoul, and it's very good and very consistent. Like I lose to it on turn 2 all the time. Like it's not even like Rogsai and stuff pushes turn 2, turn 3. Like this deck pushes turn 2 all the time. And I mean, shout out to Ed, a pilot in our local meta who's just killing with it. But a lot of people are on it. Pigeon was on it. It's a good deck. It's a really good deck. I like Izzet stuff. It's fun to watch sometimes, but yeah. So
Sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes,
shout out to you, Ed, for piloting the shit out of that deck. But that's my number
Yeah.
1 for this month.
Yeah, I've also got Raoul at my number 1. For the sake of Ed, I mean, he's doing really well with it. It is very consistent. It is funny how it is kind of non-deterministic as well, because he will put his hand out on turn 1 and then cast Raoul and then wheel, whether that's a windfall or a wheel of fortune, and he's like, I die by the sword, I live by the sword. Like he's gonna cast, he's gonna do it, and 9.5 times out of 10 he gets it. It's just crazy how consistent that deck is. And even when you think he's out, he'll come back next turn and he'll go for it again.
Yeah. Yeah. He just needs one draw card and he's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Off to the races.
Well, that's been a good month. A little bit of a change up, I think, but still some consistency from last month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So I think it was a good change up. Definitely.
yeah, and Cam, I think you're right. We got a little bit more stacks coming back to fight against the turbo, and it's not like stacks heavy, but very specific stacks pieces.
I see it. I
I got
see
a
it coming.
small. I have a small little adjustment. I don't think we went over my number 2.
Oh yeah, what you got?
I put Winota.
Oh, we
Oh,
did
yeah, we
skip that.
definitely we did not. Yeah.
Yeah. I have Winota at my number 2.
Okay.
Carlos knows how to pilot his deck very well. He knows how to politic very well. Greenie, who we've had on the show before, she loves that deck. It's very strong. It's also pretty non-deterministic as well, in the sense of you don't know what humans are going to come out, or if you're even going to get a human, because I've seen it whiff. So it's a cool deck. It's very strong. It deals in it wins in a zone that most decks don't, which is the combat step. Via combat damage. So Winota is very strong and it's very stacksy. So yeah, Winota is my number 2.
Nice.
We
Nice.
move forward now.
Awesome.
right.
Well, unless you guys have anything else to talk about, I think that's the show, all right?
Yeah.
Well, I did want to say that I'm going to be putting out a poll. So you've by the time you're hearing this, it'll probably be have been out for a little while now, but I'll probably have it up for the month of December, because we are recording this on the 1st. So we're gonna reach out to our community. We're gonna reach out to everybody here for helping us name our little exclamation dude person. So I'll put up a poll somewhere, somehow, and leave it up to you guys to come up with a name. Keep it PG, and maybe a little bit punny. We've already kind of got one that we thought of ourselves. Let us know. We thought of Marcus, as in Markus, because it's an exclamation mark. So let us know what you think about that one. That'll probably be one of the first suggestions in the poll, but put some other suggestions in there and then we'll all put a vote out. So look out for that, for some fun for the month of December.
And Cam, we're getting some more tokens made. We're out of those for our local people. Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to be in the mail today, but I checked the mail when I got home. I think I got there too early. They were not there. So they should be there hopefully today or tomorrow. But those will be
Nice.
ready for the California 99 coming up this weekend and will have already happened by the time this episode is posted.
Very
But
true.
see us
So
out in the
hopefully one of
wild.
us won it.
If you see me out in the wild, let me know. I usually carry tokens on me. So if you didn't get one, find me. I'll get you one.
All right.
Definitely. Well, everybody, that is the show. Thanks to everybody who joined us here live tonight. Make sure that you guys tune in every other Monday here at youtube.com/nresponsmtg for the live show. That's right, folks. We changed it to YouTube. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on our Instagram, on our YouTube, and on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, we also have an awesome Discord you guys can join. You can find the link in our bio site and in the description down below. And join us for some spell table games, man. Have some fun. So we appreciate all the support
right now.
Yeah, we've got spell table games firing literally right now as we're recording. So join us. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, stay magical.